Hey guys, welcome to Reddit Brew. Today, I will be reading from the r/EntitledPeople subreddit. I also just wanted to forewarn you all that I have a little bit of a cold, so sorry in advance for the possible discrepancies in my voice. My mother-in-law demanded that my husband choose between me and her. Nearly 10 years ago, my husband and I were expecting our second child. We wanted his mother to come live with us due to her living situation not being very safe or stable, and we felt we could provide a better life for her until she would be able to save money and get on her feet in a better situation. She sold her car and other belongings we couldn't move with us and brought her across the country to stay. Before she came to live with us, many people warned us that this wasn't a good idea. My own mother gave her blessing because she thought it would be great for me to have another person to help with the kids and provide support because my husband had a job that required him to be gone quite frequently. Well, the deal was that she wouldn't have to pay rent, but she would need to help with housework and watching the kids while I was at work. We would pay her and help her get health insurance, a car, etc. She was already receiving disability, so we thought this was a really good deal. Also, she would need to quit smoking. My husband is allergic to smoke. We did not want our children exposed to it, and I am also very sensitive to smells, especially during pregnancy. Fast forward only 6 weeks, and things were not going well. She's not been helpful in the house. My counters smell like a sour sponge, my laundry room like an ashtray, and my brand new leather couch has scratches from her cat. She blamed my dog, different nail shapes, and it's totally obvious. She stained the carpet in our rental with a red drink after I explicitly prohibited anything but water outside of the kitchen. Lead by example for our 3-year-old, and asked that she have our son follow the few simple rules we have for him. I tried to be fair and talked to my husband about it to calm down and make sure I'm not being overly dramatic or mean, and so that he can talk to her in a way that might be more gentle and she'll be more receptive. Instead, her response to that was her telling him that he needs to choose between me, his pregnant wife, or her. Well, because she tells him that he needs to choose, he told her that it will be me and our children every time. She demands to leave right away and return home. We go into debt, sending her back, and she ends up homeless for some time. My husband sent her money every month to help, per a promise he made that if it didn't work out, he would help. But because of how and when she left, we had zero time to prepare. This is all while I am still pregnant and about to be out of work. Before our son is born, she badmouths me and my husband and says we're terrible to her, Facebook stalks my profile, and misconstrues everything. So I block her, my Sil, and anyone else who could spy on us. To this day, I do not trust her. My Sil, however, has grown so much, and I love her dearly, and have let her back in. But Mill, I cannot bring myself to do. About 6 months ago, my Sil and her wife attempted to do the same thing, moving Mill in and helping her out, but ended up not being able to do so financially. Now, my Mill has decided that they are not family and won't talk to them. She's done this to her own flesh and blood. My husband, every once in a while, suggests that I forgive her and try to have a relationship with her again. But after this recent development with my Sils, I feel like I'm justified. We have another baby now, and I don't even want her to meet them because her attitude is awful, and I feel like she isn't my family, and blood doesn't give you a right. I'm really glad that OP's husband chose her and put his foot down with his mother, but I still kind of feel like OP's husband is in the fog a bit, especially with him suggesting that OP just forgive his mom and move on. Rug sweeping is never a good option, and I think OP needs to have a conversation with her husband as to why she feels apprehensive about having a relationship with his mother, and so they can both be on the same page. It doesn't seem like Mill is actively a huge problem, but I do think they need to stop enabling her a little bit. No, I will not take care of you when you are old. I was no contact with my mother for about 6 years. She decided to move to a different state shortly after I had my first baby. Our relationship was hanging by a thread already. Just before she moved, she went off on me about something absurd, so I cut her off. What difference did it make? She was moving anyway. Also, I had seen the type of grandmother she was to my brother's kids, so I knew I wasn't missing out on anything. I ignored her attempts for years to regain contact. Some were rather insulting, like contacting my significant other on Facebook to express concern that I'd relapsed into drug addiction because I wasn't answering her. I was just a new mother spending most of my time breastfeeding, definitely not relapsing, and she pulled that bullshit. When COVID hit, I decided to check on her. I let casual conversations continue from there with an emphasis on boundaries, which she hates, of course. When she would cross lines in conversation, typically by bringing up her past transgressions and hoping for validation of whatever kind, I would quickly shut her down. She did not want to be no contact again, so she would back off fairly quickly. About a year ago, she mentioned that her husband's daughter in a different state intended to take care of her and her husband when they retire. However the fuck they plan to do that, they are not in positions to retire ever, but they can dream, I guess. That sounded like a good idea to me, and I told her as much. Suddenly, she is now rethinking this plan. She and her husband bought a big, beautiful home within the last 2 years that they have since realized they won't be able to afford in the future. I don't know if stepsister has had second thoughts or what, but yesterday, my mother started a text convo mentioning the possibility of them moving closer to me and my family. After giving her a few vague and wishy-washy responses, she asked me directly, "Does this idea make you nervous?" And that's the context for the included excerpts from the conversation included at the bottom. I'm annoyed with her for putting me in the position where I had no choice but to hurt her feelings. I don't want to do that, but I'm also 100% fine going back to no contact if she wants to press the issue. I owe this lady nothing. She let me raise myself and hasn't been around as my kids have grown from infants into small people. It was her choice to walk away. The whirlwind of chaos that follows her may have slowed as she has aged, but she is still entitled and self-pitying, and I will not even give her half a chance to bring her shit vibes back onto my doorstep. So, here is what me drawing boundaries look like. I just feel like we have changed and grown so much that it would be okay. I agree that there is evidence of that, but I'm past the point of weighing out the risks. You chose to leave PA with me and my baby in it. After 6 or so years without contact, I chose to resume a long-distance relationship with you. I'm sorry if it hurts your feelings, truly, but my instincts tell me that to further integrate you into our lives is not the best choice. I was at the height of my insanity, so please reconsider. Yeah, she actually said that. This relationship that we have is the salvage of the relationship we had. Much was burned up. I am willing to keep what we've salvaged, but I will not build something new to find out if it works. The kind of relationship that I want with you and that I want you to have with my kids is based on your past. I know it hurts to pay the consequences for the choices that you made, but you can't ask me to change any of it. I have been enjoying making the most of what we have, and I hope you can too. Feels good. I love a strong-willed, self-aware OP. I would say that this mother is very clearly a narcissist, and it's important to keep on keeping on with this mindset and keep those boundaries strong, because even though she may have quote-unquote changed, it still seems like she just wants something. In true narcissist fashion, the mindset is always, what's in it for me? And that seems very apparent with this mother. mother. But OP seems to know what she's doing and seems to be handling her mother very well. So I am not worried about this OP at all. But anyways, that is all from me today. I hope you enjoyed these 2 entitled people stories. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I truly appreciate when you do, and I will see you in the next Reddit story. Bye!